Namaskar, আমার নাম Kaberi Day. So my parents are both from Bangladesh and they speak Bangla at home. So growing up, me and my sister were both taught Bangla, and for majority of our life we do speak that at home, but then obviously growing up, starting school, we learned English more, and obviously being born and raised in Canada, that's just how it has to be. So we speak more English, I would say, home, just because that we just forget and we just tend to do it. So I've been speaking Bangla since I started speaking, so I would say like 21 years of my life I've known that language. I try speaking as often as I can, especially if I'm home, but there are certain days where I just can't because I'll be out at school or I'll be at work and where I have to speak English. So I can only speak the language and understand it. I actually can't read or write just because I've never got taught that, so that's just all I know. Certain times, yes, there are, because I'll be telling my parents a story and there are certain words that I don't know how to say in Bangla, so I'll have to like say what I know in Bangla, and then that one word I would have to say it in English, and for the most part they understand what I'm trying to say, so they'll tell me what the word is and they'll tell me how to say it in Bangla, and then even like vice versa, when they're trying to tell me a story they'll say it in English, but then they come a word where they don't know how to pronounce it or say it, so they'll say it in Bangla, and then from there me and my sister know what they're trying to tell us. So with my older aunts and uncles, I do have to speak like Bangla around them just because they don't understand English as well. And then with the cousins that I grew up around here, like we all speak English to one another. So I actually have one best friend where me and her, we speak English to each other for the most part. And if we're out and we're trying to tell each other something private, we say it in our language just so other people around us wouldn't understand what we're saying. So I've never felt isolated when it came to my own family, just because like the town I'm from, I have so many family that lives there. But like growing up and starting school, I went to a school where there was not a lot of Bengali people. There was only literally like 3, including myself. And just obviously we didn't speak Bangla to one another, and like obviously going to high school, and I saw all like the different like cultures out there. Like we had a lot of like brown people in Brampton in general, but they just weren't Bengali. Like they were either Punjabi and people from like other parts of India, so they obviously had their own languages. So there was obviously like little cliques that would form in high school. So there was a group where they were like, sometimes they would speak Punjabi or Urdu or Hindi, and like for the most part, like I do understand those other languages. I just don't know how to like talk to them fluently. So I could understand what they were saying, but I just didn't know how to talk to them, and that's where kind of I felt isolated, because I didn't have a lot of Bengali people that I could talk to. No, just because like that was like my norm. I grew up with that, and so it's always been like that ever since I was a kid till now. Except for when I started school in Toronto, there was actually a lot of Bengali people that go to my school, and I got to meet them and basically just understand a little bit more about my language. I would just say that like I want to know more of like the history of how my language became and how Bangladesh itself came about. I know certain things just because like growing up my parents obviously told me stories, but I just want to know more. I would just tell my younger self to embrace my language more, because as a kid like I was just so embarrassed to say certain things in public, where in front of other people where they would not obviously understand. So I would just tell myself just to embrace it a little bit more and be proud of where I came from.